So, good day, sir. I am conducting an interview as a part of our school requirement and to understand how teachers use ICT tools in assessing learning of students. So, this conversation will be recorded with your permission, and I do believe that your insight will greatly help us to learn about this topic. So, may I proceed, sir?
Okay.
Can you please tell me your name and the grade level or subject you teach, and how long have you been teaching?
Okay, my name is Rex Rico M. Trao, a graduate of Bachelor of Science major in Computer Science and teacher, licensed teacher in the Philippines. I've been teaching in the Philippines for 18 years in both public and private school. Now I am here in Thailand to teach robotics. So in the Philippines, I teach ICT, and here in Thailand, I teach robotics.
So I guess that you are in the long run in the field of teaching. So in the section of the use of ICT in assessment, what ICT tools do you commonly use to assess student learning? Just like sample Google Forms, Kahoot, learning management system, or other than that, sir?
Actually, I use so many platforms. It depends on how I'm going to assess my students. For example, if it's just like a test, so I can use Google Form. And if I'm going to conduct assessment on how they do in their programming, so I use some online checking tools such as we have CodeGrade, also we have Replit. I use those platforms.
So, upon mentioning those platforms that you mentioned earlier, sir, how does these tools help you to assess your students more effectively?
Okay, in terms of effectiveness, yes, it is very effective since that all the grades are automatically generated, and many times when we talk about time, it is very easy. So it doesn't consume too much time. And all the scores are automatically generated.
Okay, sir. Can you share an example where you use ICT to assess students' learning in a creative or impactful way?
Okay, for example, for normal tests, I use Google Forms, so it's much easier for my students to to choose only the correct answer. They're going to encode their answer, and after that, the Google Form is submitted to me, and then I'm going to generate the test by itself. If I'm going to conduct programming assessment to them, so I use CodeGrade. So they just do the coding there. For example, in JavaScript or Java and Python, they do the coding there, and after that, the AI will assess the structure, the syntax, and any recommendation about that code. And the score will also be generated, and any plagiarism is detected. So it only means that the student should be aware of the code, or they are going to generate their own code. They're not going to simply copy that from the internet.
Okay, sir, thank you. So, when we talk about the benefits and the challenges, what do you think are the advantages of using ICT for assessment compared to traditional methods?
Again, advantages?
Advantages of using ICT for assessment compared to traditional method.
Okay. Of course, one is the time. So it is much faster to do it. For me, it is much faster to do it with the tools nowadays, and also it eliminates human errors because everything is set and generated compared to like doing it manually. So I'm going to check. So I will just spend, for example, I have like in the Philippines, for example, I have average of 50 students. So each student, I'm going to criticize their work, manually check one by one. So it consumes a lot of time. Where if I'm going to use the AI tool now, such as CodeGrade, So by the time that the students submitted their work, so it's generate the grade, and it gives some recommendation also to the students. So it is much easier for me. The only, I think, let's say the challenges or the disadvantages of using this kind of tool is if you have a low speed internet. Sometimes if you're cut down in the internet, you don't have connection, or there are too many students who are using the internet at the same time. So sometimes it have like errors that occurs, or they cannot access a certain file. So that is the main concern of that. And also in preparing of this one, you should prepare this. You are going to make strategies and preparation of this one. So you are going to give the correct answer already.
Okay, sir. You mentioned that time is for the using of the platforms to, of course, to consider the time to make it more easily. So, upon using those platforms, have you encountered any challenges in using ICT for assessment? If yes, how did you handle them?
Okay, as what I've said, one of the challenges
Yes.
I said is internet connection.
Yes.
Okay. For example, usually in assessment we give time frame for each assessment to be done, for each evaluation to be done. For example, it is only for 1 hour because assessment is time bounded.
Yes.
So in case of like difficulties in connections, so I adjust the settings so that they can extend. Or maybe I will ask the student, so, okay, so I will give you a special that since you say that you have a blackout on your apartment, so you can extend you cannot take the assessment. So I will give another set of exam, the same exam, but the time frame is different.
Okay, so how do students respond to ICT-based assessments? Do they seem more engaged?
Actually, seems to be more engaged with this one because it is much interesting,
Yes.
I think, but it actually depends on the kind of, or shall I say, the prior knowledge of the students, how they are going to use the ICT. For example, one student didn't use computer in his whole life, so he is going to be the first time to use or to get the evaluation, to get the assessment through the ICT. So I think it would be hard for him or her that way. But for those who are really know how to use the computer, so it is easy for them. And I think one thing is the concern about this one is if you are going to give assessment, take home assessment, you will not know whether some of the students are opening notes or using their other phone, because some we can detect in, like, if they use their computer, we can detect what page that they're currently opening, if they're opening that. But we cannot detect if they have their own phones, so we cannot detect that one. So if they are using 2 or more computers, so we cannot detect that one. So I think it is more effective if you are going to do it on your classroom. Let them all take.
Okay, so, okay, sir, when we talk about the support and professional development, have you received any training or support using ICT tools for assessment?
Personally, never. Because in the field of teaching, it is seldom to conduct trainings and develop programs for ICT. And if they give also trainings and seminars for that one, the content of their seminars is so simple, or say basic, only basic. But since that I am a graduate of computer science, shall I say, so I personally educate myself or self-learning through like using the internet, using AI, how to get this one, how to do this one. And if you really are engaged with computer, then eventually you will know those things.
Okay, sir. In your opinion, what kind of support or training would help teachers use ICT assessment more effectively?
Okay. I think when it comes to support, if, for example, in public school or in private school, the main concern is not like to teach the teacher how to use ICT. First is you're going to consider your resources first,
Yes.
whether you have a good connection, if you have available computers for the teachers to use, and also the background of, in terms of ICT background of your teachers, if they are knowledgeable about computers. So in that case, if you evaluate that one, you go there. What particular things you need or skills that you want to give to your teacher so that they can use that to be a more effective teacher. Because, for example, you have an old teacher, and then this teacher can even don't know how to use the cell phone, and then you let him or her use a computer for assessment. So I think it would not be appropriate to do that.
Okay, sir, for the closing, what advice would you give to new teachers who want to use ICT for assessing student learning?
Okay, my only advice, if you want to be good and using computer or use ICT as an assessment tool, not only that, but also for other things, for research, for learning purposes, for education purposes of your students. I think is what I'm going to advise to them is to explore more,
Yes.
explore and learn. Don't stop improving yourself, because even I am a graduate of ICT or computer science. I myself try to level up each year, because each year there are new software that come out, and what I have learned before will not be applicable today in the future. So we need to upgrade always.
Yes, sir. So, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences using ICT in the student or in assessment?
Okay. Actually, learning computer sometimes can be burdensome, but I think it is up to us how to encourage our students or encourage the teachers to be more engaged in this computer, because it is much easier to use. Nowadays, the trend nowadays is AI, so it is easy for us um, to generate
Yes.
those things. So we have ChatGPT now, so we can just simply ask the site what what we are looking for, and after that we can just change some words, so that it is already there. The content is already. We're just going to change on how it is applicable to our situation. So I think the thing is learn more, and keep on improving.
Okay, sir, that's all, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your time as well and your insights. So, your answer is a great help for us. So, to know more about this topic, sir, and of course, as well, nakagain man kami knowledge, sir. That's all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Palong da, sir.
Dahil